Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expected, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. Basically, that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. I feel like singing Boys to Men, End of the Road, because here is where my vacation ends. Although we've come to the end of the road. But the positive side is I got to get through spring break to get to the other side of spring break. And what's on the other side of spring break is I have less than 2 months left. Well, no, not less than 2 months. I have about 2 months of school left. I don't have less than 2 months. I have April to May and May to June. My last day of school is technically June 19th. So we getting there, y'all. Woo, we getting there. Thank you, Chuck, because that's actually what I'm getting ready to pull up right now. I can't even get the words out. That's actually what I'm literally getting ready to pull up right now. I'm getting ready to pull that up right now. I updated the tracker. And this is where we are right now. As of at least the last time I checked before I went live, child, we got 580 more subscribers to 20K. 580 more subscribers to 20K. As I told you guys, we are actually moving at a really good pace. Y'all know for a long time we were stagnant. I don't know if it's me going live on the vertical and on the horizontal, but we're going to keep doing it. I can't say for certain that that's what it is, but we are going to keep doing it. So we are right now, we are at 580 more subscribers to get to 20K. Chuck wants us to get there by June. And listen, we might pick up 580 subscribers in the next 2 months. I don't know. But I do think we could definitely get there before the end of the year. I think if we stay on the pace that we're on, we might be able to get there by the end of the summer. Okay? All right. Right. We've gone up almost 200 subscribers. So if you are new here, drop down and say hi. Drop down and say hi. If you are a new subscriber here, drop down and say hi, okay? Thank you. Oh, thank you, Tamara, for being a member for 60 months. Yes, you've been a member for 60 months. You better go ahead and be one of my ride or dies, old schools up in the house. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I know you've been around for a minute. All right. DeMarcus, if you want to know how I feel about the Real Housewives of Atlanta last night, go look at my review, baby. I did a whole review yesterday. Go on over there and watch the review, or you can join me at 8:30. You can join me at 8:30 over on Scotty by Nature TV's channel, where the Whether You Like It or Not panel is going to be discussing it. Okay? There we go. Why is the day going by so fast? I couldn't tell you, because I know it went by fast for me because it was my last day, honey. I looked up. I felt like I looked up and it was 4 o'clock. I said, well, dang. I was going to try to slide in another review, either the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or Ladies of London. And like I said, I got off the phone with Evie. I did my Real Housewives of Rhode Island review, and I probably had time to do one or the other, but I was like, well, let me take care of a few other odds and ends that I need to take care of. And I looked up and it was 5:30, and I was like, oh, well, ain't nothing I can do about it now. Hey, Really Being Tribe, y'all need shirts with the QR codes for the cruise, Road to 20K. I looked into that for the last cruise. The way James makes his t-shirts it's not, QR codes won't work for the way James makes his t-shirts. because he actually does the what's that? What's like the vinyl? His are like this. This is one of his t-shirts. You see how this is like the actual, it's like a vinyl that he uses to make his t-shirts. And he tried to do the QR code, but the problem is the way it prints out on the printing press. You know, QR codes are real sensitive. And so if it's not correct, it's not going to work. So we did try to do it. We did try to do it, but we weren't able to make it happen for the type of t-shirts that he makes. So, but it's definitely on the line. It's definitely on the line, boo. It's definitely on the line. Hey, Really Being Tribe. I'm not new, but I fell out the bushes. Well, come on down, Sweet Candy 24. Hey, girl. Well, let me say hi to the people, baby. We already got 127 people in this room, so this is going to be quick, okay? This is going to be a real quick roll call. We're going to be a real... So if I don't stop and say, just know I'm just riding. I got to slide through this roll call so we can go on and move on. Because y'all know I got to be off of here so I can be ready. Child, this thing is not scrolling to the top. Hello? Let me scroll to I really need to get a mouse for this computer. Because sometimes this thing let me work and sometimes it don't. All right, let's say, again, we're rolling through this fast. What's up, Cajun, B-Lo, Quake, CC, Miss French Kiss, The Informed, Nubian Mahogany, Terry, T-Baby, Sweet Pea, what's up? Cross Country Cruiser, Little Miss Introvert, Lovely Nola, The Informed, Chuck, Carmen, Ronnie, KDK, Lock Queen, Alexis Thomas, what up, Don, Brandon, Des Hop, Nap Queen, hey, Social Career, hey, boo. Oh, I said, let me, because that's where I started stopping. Morgan, Yvette, thank you, Quake, for always being over on Twitch. Thank you, boo. Cheryl, Chanel, what's going on? Benji, what up, Nay? So y'all had my niece down there windmilling last night. What up to Wanda, Bama Girl, Montrez, Lauren Bishop, DeMarcus, hey, Ebbs, Miss Jocelyn. Shout out again to Tamara for being a member for 60 months. Rainy Bow. Hey, see you in a while, Rainy Bow. Hey, girl. Jay Wash, baby, I just sent you a text. I missed your voice note, and I apologize. Let me know when you're available tomorrow. I should be home tomorrow after 5. If I go to the gym, it'll be after 5. If I don't go to the gym, I'll be home like after 4. Ocean Dreaming. T.R. Me. Kawale. Sweet Candy. What's up again? Corey. Ray Bishop. Male Game Changer. Miss Baythang. Follow Miss TT. What's up, cuz? I think that's everybody. I'm at the bottom. Woo, child. I'm at the bottom. See, instead of start push, Karen, you should know it's a vertical live and a horizontal live. Oh, you talking to somebody in the chat. All right. All right, y'all. So we are here. All right, y'all. Let's get into it because I know I got to get off of here and get my life together. So when I'll be ready to go to bed when the Whether You Like It or Not panel gets done because, you know, listen, it's almost time. Okay, I just saw your text, Jay. I just saw your text, babes. Okay. Where do we want to start, honey? All right, let's get into it. Oops, wait a minute. I forgot to do something. We'll make the church announcements in about halfway through. When we close the doors, we'll make the church announcements. We're almost ready to close the doors, but we're going to wait a little bit longer before we close the doors. Okay. All right. So first of all, I want to say congratulations to UCLA women's basketball team. They won yesterday. They listen. Y'all know I was riding for Don. I'm staying for Don, but I like good sports. And the UCLA, them girls was on fire last night or yesterday afternoon. They were on fire. Their seniors showed up and showed out. Congratulations to them. It was a good game. I hated it. That was one of those days get nothing, even when they were getting the good shots, they just couldn't get nothing to go down. And it is what it is. I ain't taking nothing away from UCLA. They were a number 1 seed going into the tournament, which means they were a good team going in. It's no shame in losing to a better team. Ain't no shame in that. That doesn't mean that she can't adjust and be ready next year, just like she did for UConn. I love how she congratulated them, and she said, listen, and she basically threw a jab at Gino, because she said, basically she said she don't have no problem losing to a coach with integrity and a good team, as which basically what she said. I think the coach with integrity was the jab. She gave the coach a big old hug at the end of the game, which again I think was very intentional. She probably would have gave her a hug anyway, but it was a little extra exclamation point put on that. And good game. And like I said, those girls, they had 5 seniors on that squad for UCLA. So all of those seniors, and it was a local young lady who's from Montgomery County, locally here in Maryland. And again, not taking nothing away from UCLA. So congratulations to them. Angel Reese has been traded to the Atlanta Dream from the Chicago Sky. As you guys know, or you may not know if you follow or don't follow the WNBA, that coach worked under her as well. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the connection there. Okay. All right. Well, that's even a double-double. Shouts out to her. Angel Reese, again, like some of you guys, you did? Hold on, T. Let me look. Let me find it right before I get off of here right now. Because, my suggestions go into a different area. Okay, there go my, I got a lot of requests. Oh, shit. Okay, I see you. Okay. Okay. All right, I just sent you a response. So if y'all are interested, if anybody is interested in getting into a IG group chat with a female, sorry fellas, a female group chat, reach out to me on Instagram and I will add you to the group chat when I'm off of here. If you like sports, and it doesn't have to be any particular sport. If you just like to talk about sports, you like to be in a safe environment, even if you don't know a lot about sports, but you want to learn and you want to talk about it, you want to learn some things, send me a message on Instagram and we're going to start this group chat, and I'm here for it. Just in time for the NBA finals, and we getting ready to get into the NFL is getting ready to have their OTAs. What do they call it? OTAs? Anyway, the off-season workouts. Okay, just send me a powerful. And I saw your message too right before I went live, so I'll respond to you too. I saw you send me a message about something else too. Tracy said the bar is open. We have a blackberry bourbon old fashioned, a chocolate espresso martini, a peach margarita, and for the non-drinkers, we have a honey green tea club soda spritzer. Slide one of them mocktails down the bar to Jerry Burton that's up in the chat. He dropped down to say hi. Slide one down there. Slide one of them mocktails down there to my cuz. Slide because he play like he just give him a mocktail and make it look real pretty. So he think he drinking a drink. He laughing somewhere right now. If he's still in the bushes, he laughing at me right now. But yeah, so Angel Reese has had a tumultuous run with the Chicago Sky. Her first season, she basically got her coach fired. Not on purpose, but her coach, in my opinion, and I love Teresa Witherspoon. I remember her from the WNBA, and I think that she definitely will take the lessons and move into the next chapter. But I think she was trying so hard to let Angel Reese shine, because we know that so much focus was being placed on Caitlin Clark that she did it to the detriment of the rest of the team, in my opinion. And she actually ended up getting fired after her first season with the Chicago Sun, which I think was some bullshit. I think it might have been more going on behind the scenes. But you already know to send me an old fashioned. But then last season, if you guys remember how the season ended, where she wouldn't even go in the game, like she was sick. I think the last game or the last two games of the season, she got an injury. The last couple of games of the season, and she wouldn't even play. And so we all knew that that just didn't end well. So it should come as no shock to anybody that she has been traded. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. In other WNBA news, you guys know they passed a new collective bargaining agreement, which basically takes up the salaries in the NBA, and A'ja Wilson is slated to be the highest paid player and to sign the highest contract in WNBA history at $1.6 million. Now, congratulations that's the highest contract to ever be paid to an NBA player. Bullshit that's the highest contract to ever be paid to an NBA player. A'ja Wilson is probably, I mean, her talent is phenomenal. And the fact that she literally is making what the minimum wage is in the NBA, that's the top. And that's damn near the minimum wage in the NBA. That's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. But moving right along. Okay, Louisiana Tech. You've been following Teresa like I've been following Don. Got it. Chicago sports ownership has a history of poor decision making. Well, touche. So there you guys go with that. Moving right along. Oh, and I guess we might as well throw that out there. Candace Parker, congratulations to her. She is in the 2026 class of the Basketball Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Candace Parker. That's another player I've been following since her college days at Tennessee. She played under the great Pat Summitt. So congratulations to Candace Parker, who made first ballot. I don't want to say it's first ballot, but I think it is the first ballot. I think it's her first year of eligibility, but she has been elected into the Basketball Hall of Fame. She's in the class of 2026. So congratulations. Y'all got me talking about sports, honey. There's my sports conversation for the day. Well, not quite. That's my female sports conversation. We're going to talk about that damn Floyd Mayweather. We might as well go ahead and get into Floyd Mayweather now. Since we talk about sports, we might as well roll on in to Floyd Mayweather sports, honey. So Floyd Mayweather, we've already discussed the fact that this man is probably having some money problems. Now, do I think Floyd Mayweather is broke? No. But do I think his liquid cash is strapped? Absolutely. Do I think that he's going to probably have to start liquidating some assets if he has not done so already? Absolutely. And as a result, he has lined up a bunch of exhibition style fights. And one is with Manny Pacquiao. And again, the comments are coming back to Houston. Oh my gosh. I always thought that was the biggest travesty, that the WNBA would let the dynasty that was the Houston Comets fail. And I get it it was a lot of other elements involved in that. But when you have a team with the dynasty that the Comets had built in such a short period of time, for those of us who started watching the WNBA from its inception, which I was one, I remember the WNBA games used to come on Lifetime. I used to watch them on Lifetime. I think they used to come on like Friday night. And I feel like Friday night they would come on Lifetime. And then I think on Saturday, they actually used to play WNBA games on NBC. I believe NBC had the NBA contract at the time. And I believe they came on. And the Comet and the Liberty, those were like your two powerhouses. Those first few years, powerhouses. That feels so sexist, Lifetime. Why it feels sexist? You had season tickets to the Comets. My ex-husband and I never missed a game. Baby, I didn't have season tickets to the Mystics, but I went to a lot. My cousin had season tickets, and I went to a lot of games with her. Matter of fact, my cousin who was at the Mystics game, when we went to the Mystics game, because I think she still got season tickets, honestly. When we went to the Mystics game last year, Tracy, my cousin, did you meet my cousin? She was at the game. She's had season tickets. I don't know if she's had them every single year, but I know like the first few years she had season tickets. Are we doing a dub? No, we're not. I can't add nothing, baby. I can't add anything else to my agenda right now. I got nothing. I got nothing. And I'm actually getting ready to apply for something that'll come in, but I got nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing. Yeah, I can't add other than the things that are already on my agenda that I just haven't announced yet because I haven't finished planning them yet. I can't add nothing else until after February of 2026 because we still trying to figure out if we're going to do books and bourbon. We still trying to figure out Abby's birthday situation, and we still trying to figure out if we're going to try to go to the Commanders game. Well, that's not going to anyway. So I got nothing. I can't add nothing. And to be honest with you, at this point, I want to go to a New York Liberty game because I want to see my girl. I want to see Ellie. So the next NBA game I'm planning is Ellie. I want to go to New York and see Ellie. So, and I want good tickets so I can be where she gonna be when she be cutting up. I want to get good seats. And y'all know them tickets are expensive since they don't won the last two titles. So their tickets are a little pricey, you know. I mean, not the last two titles, but they're winning. They're a winning team. So I want to go to New York. Y'all need to be worried about my birthday trip to Italy in 20. Oh, now, Cajun, get on somewhere. Just gone somewhere. Moving right along. So Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather were supposed to they're supposed to do this exhibition fight. But then Manny Pacquiao's camp accused Floyd Mayweather's camp of some bait and switch. So let's just read this article. Manny Pacquiao has spoken out over the issues surrounding his planned rematch against Floyd Mayweather. It was announced in February that the longtime rivals Pacquiao and Mayweather were set for a second meeting scheduled to take place at the Sphere in Las Vegas on September the 19th. Their first battle was back in May of 2015, which Mayweather won by a unanimous decision in an underwhelming affair. That was a boring ass fight. I remember watching it. That was a boring ass fight. But anyway. Though it was a massive commercial success and remains the highest grossing fight in the history of the sport. While Pacquiao continued to compete professionally and has done as recently as last July, Mayweather retired in 2017. He has had a number of exhibitions since then, but the rematch against the Pac-Man would have served as his first official bout in nearly a decade. Problems have begun to arise. Okay. Though after Mayweather recently claimed the upcoming rematch will be an exhibition rather than a professional fight, and Pacquiao has now responded with his own take on the matter. So Pacquiao said the following. He told his rival to stop making excuses and that he already turned down an opportunity for a rematch as an exhibition and wants a real fight. He proposed an exhibition a long time ago. This is a quote from Pacquiao. He proposed an exhibition a long time ago, a year after our first fight. I didn't agree to it. I want a real fight. He signed for a real fight. I signed for a real fight. He's got his advance, so there's no reason to make excuses. So he got paid. Whatever his advance that he asked for, he already got. Okay? Mayweather has been accused of being in breach of contract due to his comments. So it is expected that it will need to be cleared up sooner rather than later, just whether or not the bout will indeed go ahead. So basically, he agreed to do a real fight to get the money and get the contract. And now he's trying to say, oh no, it's just an exhibition. Oh no, it's just an exhibition. No, it's not no exhibition. It's not no exhibition. It's real. That's what Pacquiao said. Pacquiao said, I'm not doing that. We're not doing a play fight. Terrence, I agree. The fight was born the first time around. The hype was then. The hype was in 2015. Y'all could have done this in 2016. Mayweather, but remember, for those boxing fans, and Terrence, correct me if I'm remembering incorrectly, because that was damn near 10 years ago. But from my understanding, Pacquiao wanted the rematch, and Floyd Mayweather was being accused of ducking it. Like they wanted the rematch. Pacquiao's camp was like, let's do the rematch. And Mayweather's camp was like, and I think they even had like a tentative agreement, but then I think they asked for, I think Mayweather's camp demands were so ridiculous. Like it was almost like you knew nobody was going to do this. So that was your way of getting out of the fight by saying, well, we want this and we want that and we want this and we want that. And Pacquiao's camp was like, yeah, you're not getting that. Like I forget what they wanted. I think the split they wanted was like ridiculous or something like that. Terrence, correct me if I'm wrong. According to what you read, Pac-Man remembers the same thing. Right. So yeah, because I remember that being like when he said he was retiring, everybody was like, why don't you go out on Pacquiao? And that's when I used to kind of still follow boxing. I don't really follow boxing like that anymore, but I was still somewhat following boxing back then. And I remember the hype was like, why don't you go out on Pacquiao? Like, that's the fight nobody cares about any of these other fights. We want to see you fight Pacquiao again. But yeah. Your screen just did the split screen ad that I saw someone ask about the other day. Oh, for real? That's crazy. Yeah, that fight was boring as hell. I remember we were at a fight party and we were like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Like, it was boring as hell. We were playing cards. And I'm being honest, at a certain point, we were more focused on playing cards than the game. Than the fight. Yes, they accused the Mayweather team of dragging their feet in addition to other things being... Okay, so I remember correctly. All right, thanks, Terrence. Thanks. Yeah, so... I honestly think Floyd Mayweather is looking for a couple of quick paydays. The problem is, Floyd, you can make money. Like, people will still pay to see you do whatever. The problem is going to be, what are you going to do different with the money you make that you did the first time around? Because I believe that Floyd has some great investments, but I just also believe he's cash poor because we've already talked about this before about how he spends his damn money. You know? Kay just said that we're going to Italy in 2028. That was news to me, but okay. So we're going to Italy in 2028. Okay. I mean, my 2028, Lord willing, I'm still here. My 2028 is clear. My summer 2028 is wide open. So that works for me. But I just, I didn't know. Yep. All right, well, put that in your back pocket. I know, but you didn't tell me. Never mind. I'm not doing this with Cajun. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to Cajun later. But all right, put that in your back pocket, tribe. It's 250 of y'all in the chat. Put that in your back pocket, okay? 2028. Put that in your back pocket. All right. Moving right along. How in the world is Floyd running through those 100 million paydays? Is he on the stuff or something? No. We talked about this before. His spending habits. The Alaska cruise is in 2027. It's August of 2027. August of 2027. I'm going to put the link in the chat in a minute. Hold on. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat now. But it's August of 2027. So yeah, let me tell y'all something. Floyd Mayweather runs through them $100 million because, first of all, Floyd Mayweather spends money like it's growing on trees. I know that's an old saying, but, sometimes when something is tried and true, it's tried and true. We talked about that before. I told you it was an article that I read. I'm going to find that article and read it. I'm going to find that article and read it because I don't want nobody to think I'm lying on that man. But in that article, he talked about how he doesn't wear underwear twice. He doesn't wear T-shirts twice. He wears them once and he throws them away. He doesn't wear sneakers more than 2 or 3 times. They said that he would go to hotels and just give the sneakers away to the hotel staff. Of course, we know he has a private jet. We know he literally flies to, ask him how many Hermes bags he has, how many Louis Vuitton items he has. He literally just spins. And when he was still boxing and he could, in his car collection, I think his car collection is worth a couple of $1 million. Easy. So he, again... Now, do I think he's invested his money? Yeah, I think he's invested his money, but I also think that even with you investing your money to on a great level, investing your money, there's also you still have to adjust spending when you retire. Doesn't matter how much money you've made. When you retire, you have to adjust your spending, or you should adjust your spending, because at the end of the day, yes, you made a lot of money and you may have invested well, and you may have still have money in the bank and still have great investments, but you're not going to keep getting those $100 million paydays. Right. And he gambles. Absolutely. And I don't think none of his kids work. I don't know, child. But he just spend money ridiculously. Okay. Here's the link for Alaska. Oh, shoot. Here's the link for the Alaskan cruise. Right there. Okay. His money isn't coming in as fast as he's spending it. He's spending he's spending it like he's going to keep getting these $100 million paydays. That's not, so you retired. So you got to adjust how you spend it. Again, he's made more than enough money to live comfortably the rest of his life. But again, maybe you might want to wear your underwear more than once. I'm not saying wear them for 5 years. I'm saying wear them for, wear them a reasonable amount of time. Who's doing that? Like, that's crazy to me that you don't wear a t-shirt more than once. A t-shirt? Crazy. Anyway. Excuse me. So, right. If Floyd invested correctly, him paying off his debt. Right. What's up, Marco? I ain't seen you in a minute. It shouldn't be an issue. I agree. He should have more than enough money. But I just think he never adjusted his spending. I think he just spends like he still think that all he got to do is announce a fight and get $100 million. You saw when he was accusing HBO of stealing his money. When people start when he said that when he sued HBO and said HBO cheated him out of money when he was boxing, to me, that is the equivalent of looking under the cushion to find $20 to get you to payday, right? When you start going through your pants pockets, looking in your old wallets, looking under the cushions, the seat cushions, to me, that's what that is. It's like, oh shit, I need like $20, $30 just to get me to Friday. I need some gas money. And you start, oh shoot, oh damn, that's what that is. That's what that means to me. That's what that looks like to me. I have a t-shirt that's damn near see-through. It's so right. Listen, I already told y'all about my t-shirt. That's why I gotta start getting, because I got t-shirts all the time, y'all, like that. Just like Nikki talking about title, right? Y'all signed those contracts. Y'all was good with those contracts until now. Now all of a sudden they cheated you. And it's one thing if new information comes out, but when you had access to the same information and now you like, baby, me too, Morgan. Baby, me too. I wear my bras to them underwires start poking me. If Floyd wants to fund my vacations, listen. If he thought HBO could pay out $350 million, he has lost all of his marbles in the boxing ring. Baby, that's what he said, Marco. Now that's what he said, Marco. That is what he said. All right, y'all. So let's do a quick update with the T.S. Madison situation. Michelle A.T. Elliott is still striking T.S. Madison, child. Michelle A.T. Elliott was up early yesterday morning on Resurrection Sunday striking T.S. Madison. Now, T.S. was still live on her channel, but listen, I feel like this, I hate to see what's going on because as anybody in the chat that hangs out or dibbles and dabbles in the beef sector, y'all know that when people start doing these flagging wars, it gets ugly. And I have seen people lose their channels playing this game of flagging back and forth. And I'm not saying that TS shouldn't fight back. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, Michelle, I feel like you have started something that's probably not going to end well for either one of y'all. That's the only difference is, and I don't know Michelle's financial situation, so let me preface by saying that. But the only difference is, I think Maddie can live with I think Maddie can absorb losing her YouTube channel. And I'm not saying Michelle can't, because again, I don't know her finances. She may be able to live just fine, because I know she has a Patreon and I know she has other ways that she makes money. But I just feel like if we're going to start talking about check for check, I mean, I think Maddie can live without her YouTube channel. I would hate to see her lose it, It's a lot of content. It's a lot. It's been around for a very long time. It's a lot of content on that channel. And one thing about YouTube, baby, if they terminate your channel, that's a wrap. It's gone. Now, somebody like Maddie could probably get in touch with somebody at YouTube and get it back if it's a false flag and all of that. But it's just a process. I mean, we saw when Funky Dineva lost his channel, he literally had to, I think Tasha K actually helped him, if I'm being honest. When you get a certain number of subscribers, you actually have a manager, like somebody, you have a person at YouTube that Google that you can call and be like, hey, da 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 da. And Maddie is a celebrity, but I don't know if she has those numbers. But she could, because she is a celebrity, she could probably get somebody on the phone. But it's just a lot. And it's an ugly game to play when you know that you're doing the same thing. It's an ugly game to play. Like I said the other day, it's one thing if somebody is really stealing your content. It's something different when y'all are playing content and both of y'all are doing the same thing to each other. Like I always tell y'all, fair exchange ain't never been no robbery. If you doing it to T.S. Madison and T.S. Madison is doing it to you, like T.S. said, I ain't never struck anybody. Not for that. Because whatever. So I just think it's a nasty game. Michelle is on the verge of losing her channel with these frivolous strikes. Because that's what's going to end up happening. If YouTube will do a reverse Uno, if you keep getting caught up on these false flags, like if T.S. Madison is successful, because we know she was able to get the first one reversed. If she is successful with getting these flags reversed, YouTube is going to start looking at you. And then you're going to get in trouble, Michelle. They're going to start looking at you. If you keep getting these false flags, if you keep putting these flags and they keep getting returned, reversed, they're going to look at you. That's what I'm saying. It's an ugly game. It's an ugly, ugly game. No, T.S. Madison can afford to lose her YouTube channel. I mean, financially afford. Now, will she lose a lot of content and stuff like that? Yeah. And who wants to rebuild? But T.S. Madison can absolutely afford to lose her YouTube channel. She can still go live on Instagram. She still goes live on Facebook. I don't think she goes live on TikTok, but hell, that ain't nothing but a button. That ain't nothing but a button to push. T.S. Madison gets multiple checks from multiple places. Again, does she want to lose her YouTube channel? No. But it won't. I don't think it'll change nothing in her household. I don't think it'll change no bills that get paid in her household if she loses her YouTube channel. Hell, she only go live when she home. T.S. Madison goes weeks without going live on her YouTube channel. Only thing she really does on her YouTube channel live right now is the show with Craig. When everything else are uploads. She'll go live on Instagram and then she'll upload it onto her YouTube channel. She very seldom goes live on YouTube just to be like, hey, how you doing? Right. She could start a Twitch account. Yeah, she could start a Twitch account and absorb whatever she would be losing on YouTube. She can go right on over to TikTok and Twitch and make it up. And again, I'm not saying she wants to, but what I'm saying is this is an ugly game. It's an ugly game, and Michelle, you started it. And I just, also they said that the DL Whisperers in jail talking, and he said that he gonna be out soon, and when he get out, he ain't gonna stop doing what he been doing. All I have to say to that is that you're going to be back in jail. Like, to me, that was just some clickbait shit for people to get mad. You're not going to make me mad by telling me that you're going to get out of jail and you're going to keep doing the stuff that put you in jail in the first place. That don't make me mad. Then you're going to be back in jail. I mean, you talk, that's like a bank robber saying, I be out soon, and when I get out, I'm gonna keep robbing banks. Okay, well then you're going back to jail. That don't affect me no kind of way. I think TS uses StreamYard. Hopefully they are saving the streams. She does use StreamYard. You know what? I didn't think about that, Ray Bishop. She probably is saving a lot of her StreamYards. Yep. If she loses it, she could re-upload it and wait for the subs to come back. Yeah, because that's the other thing. TS could literally, I mean, I don't even want to go down the road like that, but you're right, Ray. And she probably is saving a lot of her content, But it's so much. I mean, remember, her content goes back to before the pandemic. I mean, she's got so much content. TS is working on her own app at moving all of the content that she has, the zip drive, just in case yeah. And that would listen, and she would get a lot of subscribers over on her own app. I mean, Tasha K gets subscribers and has people on her app. I think T.S. Madison can get people on her app. I could see people like Don Lemon eventually doing something like that as well. He's doing really well on YouTube, but I could see Don Lemon building his own app. You know. Or TS, I know TS has a Patreon. She could just go 100% on Patreon and make the money. Make people buy a membership on Patreon. I mean, listen, it's ugly, and I just hate to see it going in this direction because it's just ugly to me. You know. Baby, I'm gonna have to read Brandy's book. I know the book club is just stalled. We got to get the book club together, y'all. I just got to find more hours in my day. I have not forgotten about the Shorty book. What I have decided, I meant to tell y'all this last week. What I have decided about the Who's Watching Shorty, I have changed my mind. I am not going to read that book word for word because I really don't want to do that. Talking about stealing people's content, I really don't want to take this young lady's book and read it. I know other people have done it, and I'm not knocking nobody else for doing it. I personally just don't want to do it. So what I am going to do is we're going to do like we've done with our other books. We're just going to have book discussions on chapters. So we are going to do Shorty. We are going to do Brandy. I actually started listening to Brandy on my audiobook. So we will do it. We're going to just do it like that. Now Brandy explains, because a lot of people knew that Brandy and Rodney Jerkins, they had this great relationship that produced a lot of hits. And then one day he was just gone. And it's been rumored for a lot of years that, they had a really nasty falling out. And so Brandy also spoke on that in the book, and she spoke on basically the fight that was like the last straw for her. We could definitely feel the difference in the music. You're right, Kim. You're absolutely correct. But she said that they got into an argument. She said they used to argue a lot, and they got into an argument, and he basically told her, okay, well, you go ahead and do whatever you're going to do, and I'm going to go over here and sell 5 million records with Beyonce. And she said that was the last straw for her. She said she was embarrassed. She was hurt, and she said she left the studio, and that was it, and that was all. Listen, I mean, thanks for telling us the story. I mean, they said y'all said Rodney Jerkins is MAGA. Well, oh well then. Like, oh well, so sad, too bad. We definitely could hear the difference in the music, but I also feel like if you feel like you have been disrespected, again, don't know what started the argument, but I could see how that would be very hurtful as an artist for somebody to be like, well, you go on over there and do what you do. I'm just gonna sell 5 million records with Beyonce. Like, and again, remember that was when Brandy was still on top and Beyonce was up and coming. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Aphrodisiac was her best album, in my opinion. Oh, not for me. Oh, I'm sure Rodney's got a different side of the story. Oh, I'm definitely sure his side of the story is different. Brandy did make good music with Timberlake. My favorite movie with her, my favorite album with her is the album with Angel in Disguise, because that's my favorite song by Brandy. Angel in Disguise, that's my shit. That's my shit. Let me tell you something. That Angel in Disguise do it for me every time. Oh, you ordered the autograph copy? Yeah. Yep. That I went to the mobile bookstore on Saturday. I keep saying I gotta do a short, but I went to the mobile bookstore on Saturday, and she had the book. I didn't buy it because I knew I was just gonna get it on. I was just gonna do the audio book, but yeah, that Angela in Disguise, is that Full Moon? Yeah, that's the one. The one with Angela in Disguise is the one that get it. That get it for me. Brandy seemed bullied a lot. But I mean, I don't know. Oh, speaking of which, let me find it, Lord. Let me find it, child. It's so far down. What is this? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. What is this? Child, I ordered something and I don't even know it's they delivered it. I just got the text. But hold on, let me find this because I want y'all to hear something. Let me see if I can find it. Cause Lord child. Hold on. Let me go into my oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. All right. Let me go into my favorites. Let me find it. Jason Weaver spoke on because we were talking about what happened between Brandy and Thea and Brandy's mama. And Jason Weaver, who was on the show Thea, in an interview, he spoke on, from his perspective, how things went down. And I feel like he was an unbiased, by the way he tells the story, you could tell he was trying to be fair, in my opinion. He was trying to be fair about how he told the story. So now I gotta scroll back, Lord. I really need to clean out my favorites. And I need to clean out my favorites in my TikTok because, child, come on, Jason Weaver, where is it? I saved it on TikTok so I could, and I never did play it for y'all. Is this it right here? Nope, that's not it. Damn it. I don't even want to try to. Oh, Lord, did I scroll back? I just saw a Christmas tree. I know it wasn't that far back. Hold on. Damn it. Did I delete it? Shit. Oh, yeah. Child, I'm all the way back at Christmas. I know it wasn't that far back. Damn it. Because I didn't even want to paraphrase. I wanted y'all to hear Jason Weaver tell the story. Hold on. I really don't think it was this far back. Damn it. Hold on. Let me see if I could just find it real quick. Let me see. Let me see. Here it is right here, I think.
Like one season, right?
Yeah. With H Town's own Thea Vidal. I was in Thea on ABC. Unfortunately, we only did one season. But great show. Castle Rock Entertainment. Rest in peace to Rob Reiner. Castle Rock Entertainment was behind it. They produced it. Him and his partner Glenn Patnick, Bernie Kukoff, who was one of the producers and who was also one of the head writers and the producers for The Cosby Show. Andrew Susskind, Jay Sandridge, all of these guys were really big TV guys back then. So, yeah, I worked with Thea Vidal on that. I had the honor and the pleasure working with Brandy Norwood before she became Brandy. Who else was on that show, man? Adam Jeffries. It was so many talented people in that show, and I wish that we would have been able to go on, because I really feel to this day that Thea definitely had legs. I mean, you could kind of see it now. There's a show out on BET. I think it's called Miss Pat, and I love that show. And Miss Pat show is kind of like that. Are you familiar with that show on BET?
Never seen an episode, but I heard about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same premise almost, but judging the popularity nowadays that show has, in comparison to the popularity and support that we had with Thea back in the day, it's kind of like the same thing. And the Miss Pat show, I think, has been running on BET for the past 4 seasons. So yeah, it just, things happen. Network television back then in the times really, really different. And you just had to get in where you fit in. But it was a great experience being able to work on that show.
Yeah, it ended after one season, man. And it was a good show, yo. Like, why did it end so soon?
Okay, so let me say this respectfully, and let me say this very...
You could tell he's trying to be very careful in how he chooses his words. Okay, so let me let y'all hear him.
Carefully. There were things that were happening behind the scenes that I think played a lot into the cancellation of the show. Because Thea, the show was a top-rated show. We were a top 10 show in the Nielsen's ratings every week. We were in a very strong time slot on a Wednesday, like 8:30. We came on after Grace Under Fire. Back then, that was prime time TV schedule. If you were able to be on television on a Wednesday and Thursday, 9 times out of 10, you were probably one of the more highly rated shows of the week, back then when the Nielsen ratings and all of that counted. But there were things that were happening behind the scenes that I won't get into out of respect for, the people that were...
It lasted like one
that ain't
season.
the clip. That's the clip I'm looking for, but it cut off right when the part I wanted y'all to hear. Hold on, y'all. Oh shoot, that's the clip again. The clip I'm looking for went a little bit further than that.
Like one season, right?
Okay, so let me say this.
Okay, this is the clip I was looking for, y'all.
Very carefully. There were things that were happening behind the scenes that I think played a lot into the cancellation of the show. Because Thea, the show was a top-rated show. We were a top 10 show in the Nielsen's ratings every week. We were in a very strong time slot on a Wednesday, like 8:30. We came on after Grace Under Fire. Back then, that was prime time TV schedule. If you were able to be on television on a Wednesday and Thursday, 9 times out of 10,
I don't want to go by too far and pass it.
Highly rated shows of the week, back then when the Nielsen ratings and all of that counted. But there were things that were happening behind the scenes that I won't get into out of respect for, the people that were involved. But things just happened that I think made it problematic, and probably where the network could see and where the executives can see that over time, and maybe with the more success that we had, that it could become an issue later on. So I think they just kind of decided to cut their losses, right there in the first season and keep it moving. It was such an abrupt move that they made with canceling it. Like, I don't even think we got a chance to film the last episode. We were guaranteed for 21 shows, and we ended that show on the 20th show. We didn't even get to finish the 21st show. It was just like real abrupt, wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of, exit. But that's how it was back in the day. It's a business, so it is what it is. Shout out to Thea. From my personal experience, it was a pleasure to work with her. I know her and Brandy had their issues with one another, but I was never in direct line of that. I know Brandy went through a lot with that, and just, as a friend and as young performers back then, we just tried to rally together, to support her. But it was difficult for her. And, this is probably, well, not probably, it was prior to I Want to Be Down coming out and her becoming an international, music star. So when she finally did ascend to greater heights after Thea, I was very, very happy for her and very proud of her, because I was aware of, the things that she had experienced on that show.
Now, he long-winded as hell, but it sounds like Brandy was the one getting a lot of the brunt of whatever was going on. And I know we've heard rumors that Thea was mean, that Thea kind of bullied Brandy. And I just remember we talked about that. So when I saw that clip, I meant to bring that clip to us a while ago, and I forgot, child. And somebody in the chat said that I told you, Really B, that Brandy wasn't protected. Sonya couldn't protect Brandy. Let me say this. I guess it depends on your definition of protected. I won't say Brandy wasn't protected. I will say it depends on your definition of what you mean by protected. That's what I'm going to say. I think that Sonya was very much in the room, in the spaces. When I think about not protected, I think about when we did that documentary on Nickelodeon and all of those kids whose parents were not there or whose parents allowed their children to be mistreated for the sake of staying on the show, for the sake of a paycheck. And I feel like, yes, Thea ended abruptly and a lot of people lost money, right? It could have lasted. But I feel like Sonya protected her daughter in the way that she was not violated in those ways. So at least that we know of. Let me put a pin in that. At least that we know of. So when I say protected, I don't know if I ever use the word protected, but that's what I think of when I think of a child being protected in these spaces. I think of the Gary Colemans. I think of the Todd Bridges. I think of the Kim Delaney's. I think of the Coreys. I think of those types of not being protected. I remember Kim Fields. She always talks about her mom and how tight of a hold her mom had on her. She just did Deion Cole has a podcast, and she just did his podcast, and she talked about how basically Chip Fields made Kim Fields quit the Facts of Life because she started getting a big head, and Chip Fields called the producer of the Facts of Life and said, "Yeah, Kim can't do the show anymore because she can't handle this." Because Kim made a comment, her mother wanted her to do something. And Kim made a comment, "Well, can't the housekeeper do that?" And her mama was like, "Oh, no. I'm not raising one of them. Absolutely not." And so from there, so when I say protected, that's what I'm talking about. And again, I don't even know if my words are protected. I don't know because I don't know if I use the word protected, but that's what I'm thinking about when I think of children being protected. Shirley Ralph, she left Moesha because, from my understanding, her and Sonya didn't get along. And that's why Shirley Ralph left Moesha. And we know that she came back they had her character basically go to Jamaica to open up a school in Jamaica. And then we would see her like once every couple of episodes. But from my understanding, that's part of the reason why Shirley Ralph left the show. I think whenever, and I know people have their personal feelings about Brandy, and I know people have their personal feelings about Sonya, but I feel like when we see Black mothers protect their children, I feel like we always, when I say we, I'm not talking about us, y'all, I'm saying in general, we always find a way to villainize them. Sonya may not have been perfect. Sonya may not have done everything right, but I do think that Sonya, in her mind, was doing what she thought was in the best interest. That's not why she left Moesha. Well, tell me why she left Moesha, please, because that's what I thought I remember. But if I'm wrong, correct me. I know she was also unhappy with that storyline. Yeah, I do know she was unhappy with the storyline. But remember, okay, so Novelty Expressions, walk with me down the road. If I'm wrong, y'all, I'll be wrong. But walk with me down the road. She wasn't happy with the storyline of Dorian being Frank's love child. Who was Dorian? Dorian was Ray J. Ray J's Brandy's brother. How you think Dorian got written on the show? Who you think did that? And now, again, I do know that was part of Shirley Ralph's issue. I do know that. But I thought, and I could be wrong, but I thought I remember they did like a behind the scenes or unsung or whatever. And I remember Shirley Ralph saying that there were some creative differences because nobody was really, well, I ain't gonna say nobody. her nor the guy that played the father, neither one of them were happy about that storyline. Neither one of them were happy about that storyline. You know, it's funny because Brandy, you know how I know Bondi does it, and I've seen a few other content creators do Now That We Are Grown, and like revisiting things as adults. Brandy is a show that is a great Now That We Are Grown, because I enjoy Brandy for what it was, as far as like it being a black show on TV, the age group. I mean, they were a little bit younger than me, but you know, that general age group, you know, the high school kids, yada, yada, yada. But I was never a fan of Brandy because I felt like Brandy was always a brat. I feel like Brandy's character was always a brat. Always a brat. Her character on the show was a brat. And even that very first episode, I remember watching the very first episode of Brandy. I don't know if I was watching it on YouTube or something or whatever, but I remember, and I was like, even in that first episode, she was being a brat. And I always felt like Brandy, remember when Brandy left? Y'all remember when Brandy moved out? Like, Brandy was always a brat. Like, when I see it as an adult now and I look back on it, I'm like, Brandy was a brat. Well, Moesha, I'm sorry, Moesha, the character Moesha was a brat. Brandy says the same thing about Moesha. Yeah, Moesha was a brat. I was looking at Gilmore Girls, and I used to love Gilmore Girls. But now, as an adult, looking at Gilmore Girls, Rory was a brat. Rory was a brat. Rory was a brat, and I used to love me some Gilmore Girls. But anyway, moving right along. I never liked the Parkers either. I never liked the Parkers. I didn't like the Parkers because I felt like the Parkers were I just felt like they were caricatures. I just felt like Monique and Mama, and I just felt like they were caricatures, and I just never, I never liked it. I think I might have watched 2 episodes of the Parkers. I was like, they have turned this into a whole minstrel show, in my opinion. And then when I first started teaching, if y'all know my last name, y'all know my last name is similar to Parker. So my kids used to call me that. They say, "Hey, Mrs." And they would say what my real last name is. And, you know, because of course, you know, because I'm fat. So I guess, you know, I was Monique, you know. And I was like, really? This is what I got to do? I remember someone saying Brandy played Moesha well because she was in her real life. I think Monica said that. Ooh, she might have, child. My favorite Moesha episodes were the ones with Fredo Star, Q. That's when she started tripping. Ain't that when she left the house when her father put her out because she was seeing Q behind his back or something? So I don't remember all of it now, but I remember that. I said, "Oh, she's such a brat." Who don't like the Parkers? Me. I don't like the Parkers. All right, let's get these last 2 stories. We have 300 people in the room. I hope we have 300 likes. Can y'all please, if y'all have not done, we ain't gonna close the doors, but if you haven't done so already, can you please hit the like button? It's a free way to support the channel. It is free 99. Like, comment, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Y'all know we're on our road to 20K. We have 580 subscribers to get to 20K. Right, Quake raising her hand. She don't like the Parkers, right? If you want to make a monetary donation to the channel, by all means, you know, it's not a requirement, but it is appreciated and accepted. You can super chat, Cash App. You can hit the the PayPal or the Zelle. Okay, y'all can do that. Okay. And this is how you can hit the PayPal or the Zelle. ReneeInc@gmail.com. Okay. All right, there you go. She left home because her dad got mad thinking she slept with Jeremy and became strict. Okay, it was Jeremy. It wasn't cute. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember, I don't remember all the details because Lord knows the last time I really watched a bunch of Moesha episodes. Not the people who beefing in the chat over struggle hair, child. Moesha hair was a mess on Thea though. That that mushroom hairdo was a lot. It was a lot going on with Brandy's hair, child. Anyway, shut up, Cajun. My favorite episode was when my man Gerald Levert was on there. Oh, child, I can't even remember all of that. Lord have mercy, I can't even remember all of that. All right, let's get into these last couple of stories before we get out of here. Again, the link for the Alaskan cruise is in the chat. If you are still interested in going on the Tribe Bowl in February, send me an email at ReallyB Travel or at ReallyBTV, or at ReallyBthePodcast at gmail.com. Or send me a message on Instagram and I'll make sure I get you all that information for the cruise. Again, the ship ain't sold out, so we are still booking people. You have until November. It's a $200 deposit for the February cruise, and you have until November the 28th to pay it off. The prices are still reasonable. I just don't have the updated prices with me right now. Cajun, you good at finding stuff on Royal Caribbean. Can you check and see what the prices currently are, please? Thank you, on the website. If you got a minute, if you somewhere where you can do that. Kim asked if the prices went up. I honestly don't know because I haven't checked. But Cajun usually keeps up on the prices. So can you find it real quick for me, please? What the prices are right now on the Tribe Bowl, if you don't mind. Right, they made Kim way dumb on the Parkers, right? She wasn't that dumb on Moesha, but anyway, child, anyway. The link for Alaska is right here. If you are interested in going with us on the Alaskan cruise, that's in August of 2027. There's the link right there. And I have pinned the link for our July 18th event, our live event for July the 18th. Tickets are on sale for those of you that are in the DMV area or are willing to travel to the DMV area to join us on July the 18th for our Dreaming Out Loud event, an afternoon of vision, purpose, and dreams. It is with author Dee Cummings. And that link is pinned. The early bird tickets are on sale until April the 15th. So you only have 9 more days to get your early bird price. Okay. All right. What's the name for the reality TV show? What was it? Hollywood Divas or something like that? Was it Hollywood Divas? Yeah. Nah, she was dumb on Moesha. Go back and watch the first 3 seasons. No, I believe y'all. I mean, she was dumb on both shows, to be fair. She was dumb on both shows. Okay. So has Quad been vindicated? Let me get this off the screen, please. Has Quad been vindicated? So as you guys know, this probably gonna be the last thing we talk about Married to Medicine unless something major happens, child. Well, the election is this week, so we'll probably talk about whether Heavenly won or lost, which I think we kind of know the conclusion to the election, but you never know. You never know. Kim was a complete idiot on the Parkers compared to... Right, I think she was dumber on the Parkers than she was on Moesha, but I can't tell nobody. Listen, I ain't watched either one in a long time, so... But with that being said, Quad came down and did it she said this on the reunion, and she also said it on her interview with Carlos King. She said that basically King won her back. She said basically King has reached out to her and he has expressed that he wants that old thing back. Quad said as recently as a couple of weeks prior to that interview that she did with Carlos. And King has come down here and said that ain't true. It's a lie. You lying on me. You lying on my name. Tell the truth. Until you do right by me, everything you go. No, he didn't say all that. But he basically said it's a lie, that the breakup was not amicable, that, she's lying about him reaching out to her, that's not true. That ain't what happened. And so okay. Somebody just sent me a message. The person that just sent me a message got it. So somebody then came down here who said they have a firsthand knowledge of what did or did not happen with King. Now this person says they have firsthand knowledge. Now, I'll tell you who they are in a minute, but let me read to you what they said, okay? Now, what King said, Lord, I'm going to let me take my glasses off. King said, it wasn't mutual or amicable. There's another performance in a PR stunt. He said, I asked to end the relationship and haven't had a need to contact you. Stop trying to make yourself look good. Stop lying. So this person said the following. This person said, wow. To see you get on here and lie to these people in these comments is diabolical. I've sat back and watched you try to embarrass her at every turn, and this really needs to stop. You know, I know the truth because I was there. And let's not forget the 4-hour three-way call that you wanted to have. I witnessed you firsthand gaslighting Quad and trying to manipulate her just so you could win. And they put that in parentheses. Quotes. Shaking my head. Honestly, this is just sad because I didn't think you could be this guy. Quad has wanted nothing but peace and for you to both move on. And I was high-key glad when she stopped responding to you as a whole. I'm only commenting because it's exhausting when you know the truth. I'm tired of seeing this narrative you are trying to spin against her and stay relevant. And then the person also went on to say, to keep it all the way real, I was there for all of your back-to-back crash out messages when you realized you no longer had access to her. Check your phone clearly. You are forgetting about February the 28th too, while what you were saying she's lying about. But hey, I will observe and painting. I don't know. Now, when I look at who sent these messages, it's a woman by the name of Marlissa Monique, and it says MUA, so makeup artist. So I'm wondering if this is Quad's makeup artist. I'm wondering if this is Quad's makeup artist who was around to see and hear the conversations and the things of that nature. So this person is vouching for Quad, saying basically that you are lying. That Quad is telling the truth. And whether this person is lying for Quad or not, I don't know. But this person came down to the internet and was like, absolutely not. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so wait a minute, Cajun. So 1289. Hold on. 1289 for what? Hold on. Let me scroll back up. Okay, the prices are $12.50 for balconies for a single traveler. Is that a refundable deposit or a non-refundable deposit? Okay, the prices are the same. All right. So the prices are pretty much the same, Kim. They're pretty much the same. If she don't have any proof, we don't care. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to be honest. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think neither one of them, I think both of them are telling their side of the story. And I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. The reality of the situation is when relationships end, generally speaking, I know that's not a 100 thing, but generally speaking, there's one person who's ready for it to end and there's one person who's not quite ready. Even if they know the relationship has run its course, even if they know the relationship should end, generally speaking, there's one person that pulls the trigger before the other. So in most cases, somebody said it first. Now, in this situation, was it Quad? Was it King? We don't know, and we will probably never know. Let's be real. We will probably never know who really ended the relationship first. But on the show, it definitely looked like King was the one that was ready to go. If I'm being honest, that doesn't mean that's how it went down behind closed doors. But on the show, it definitely looked like King was the one ready to get the hell out of Dodge. That's what it looked like on the show. Now, what was really going on behind closed doors, who knows? And like I said, honestly, I think I'm done talking about it, child. Thank you, Mans, for the super chat. He said, y'all can join him in October on the Oregon Trail. Just don't get dysentery, honey. Just don't get dysentery. Mm-hmm. All right. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I just got an email from my principal. Hold on. Okay, I already knew that. I thought he was giving us some new information. I already knew that. Okay. All right. And with that being said, let's get into this last little story about Kanye. Now, we talked about cancel culture. We talked about who went to go see Kanye and Kanye being canceled or not being canceled. Now, it looks like the fans aren't ready to cancel Kanye, but it definitely looks like corporate America is. Looks like corporate America is ready to cancel Kanye. So the following companies have withdrawn their sponsorship from the Wireless Festival because they named that Kanye West was their headline for the Wireless Festival. So the following businesses have withdrawn their sponsorship: PayPal, Pepsi, Rockstar Energy Drink, and Diego. Those are the 4 corporate brands as of earlier today that have dropped out. Okay. They have dropped out. They have withdrawn their support. And this is due to his past anti-Semitic statements. Don't have nothing to do with us, y'all. Don't have nothing to do with Make America Great Again. Don't have nothing to do with his All White Lives Matter shirts that he was wearing. Don't have nothing to do with him kissing the ring of Donald Trump. Don't have nothing to do with him talking about slavery was a choice. None of the things that should have offended black folk enough to not buy a ticket to his damn show. I don't know who Diego is, but they not sponsoring him no more. None of the things that should have made us say we're not going to support Kanye West, because those stadiums were full for his concerts in LA. They were full. And it wasn't just white folk. They were full. And it wasn't just black celebrities. They were full. No, they ain't say forget about the black anti-statements. What they said was, that ain't our fight. Our fight, the Jewish community is going to fight for the Jewish community. And when they feel, and we've had this conversation before, when they feel disrespected, they stand in solidarity. They put their money where their mouth is. They cancel motherfuckers. Y'all saw how fast Nick Cannon apologized when he offended the Jewish community. Has he apologized yet for talking about Donald Trump and the Democrats and the KKK last week? Have y'all seen Nick Cannon come down here and apologize? But y'all saw how fast he apologized to the Jewish community, though. You know why? Because ring, ring. And here's the reality of the situation. Like I told you guys last week, can we cancel Kanye? No, we can't cancel Kanye. But what we can do is we cannot financially support Kanye. If the rich white folk and the celebrity black folk who don't have to worry about it, can let them. But why are you spending your hard-earned money to go support Kanye West? Like, y'all really need to see him perform. Y'all do realize this man had a song called Heil Hitler? Y'all remember that? Oh, okay. And again, I know a lot of people have canceled him. So I'm not talking about every single person in this world. I do know that he has been canceled. But all I'm saying is it was a whole lot of folk that bought tickets to that show. A whole lot of regular black folk was in that stadium singing and dancing, shucking and jiving. Exactly, Miss E. That's what I was saying last week when I was talking about some of these. We were talking about the difference between black women getting canceled versus black men. And I was saying the reality is some of these black men are too big for us to cancel. And I know people don't like to hear that. People don't want to accept that, but it is what it is. We can't cancel Snoop. I mean, that's just the fact. We can't cancel Ice Cube. I mean, we can cancel Nelly, but even if we can't cancel, we don't have to support. You know what I mean? Like, if Kanye is going to sell enough tickets to fill up a stadium, let it be them. Let it be the people he didn't offend. Let it be the people he's pandering to. Let it be them. Why are we buying tickets to support him? Because he came down here and gave us a half-ass apology right before he was getting ready to drop an album? That's why? One of my friends discovered Kanye and helped him secure his deal. He's even dead to her. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we have to start protesting in silence. So what I mean by that is, I don't mean silently protest, but what I mean is we have to still be willing to protest even when nobody's going to hear us. You know, if you live in LA and you don't buy a ticket to see Kanye, it may not mean anything as far as, yeah, somebody else is going to buy that ticket, but at least you know you didn't. Don't say, well, it don't matter whether I go or not. He's still going to sell out. Yeah, he probably will, but it won't be on your money. It won't be with your money. It's the same thing about what we're saying about Target. No, Target ain't going bankrupt, but Target is operating in the black. I mean, in the red. No, they ain't made no grand announcements that they rolling back DEI, but don't think that it was an accident or a mistake or happenstance that Jamal Bryant all of a sudden had a change of heart. A phone call was made, and I don't give a damn what he says. That's my opinion, and it ain't changing. And why did they call Jamal Bryant? Well, one, misogyny, because they wasn't going to call them black women in Minnesota that actually started the Target boycott, but because he had the loudest voice. He said, I'm the leader of this. So they called who they thought was the leader. That's just my opinion. We need to get offline with our strategies. This is true, really be, especially the ones, artists who have crossed over and now have a majority other. Right. Yeah. Stop worrying about who we can cancel. No, just stand on business. Just stand on principle. Just say, I am no longer going to support this person because ... And the reality of the situation is, no, there are a lot of people who donated to Trump. I'm not talking about corporations who donate to both sides. Most corporations donate to both sides. Let's listen. We're gonna call a thing because they hedge their bets. We're not talking about the corporations that donate. We're talking about the corporations that staunchly support MAGA. You got to look at the numbers. You got to look at the numbers. Now he probably went to Bath and Body Works sprays. But anyway. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about the people that disproportionately support. And you gotta, you just gotta just have that knowledge and you have to move accordingly. But anyway, let me get off here so I can be ready at 8:30. Don't forget the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be live. We are back. We'll be at Scotty's house at 8:30-ish for the Whether You Like It or Not panel for us to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta premiere last night. Hear what we thought, honey. I'm sure y'all probably already looked at my review, T's review, Scotty's review, but come and hear us all together. Y'all know we're going to be fussing and fighting and arguing and scratching, honey. And thank you for the super chat, Mims. Thank you, my love. If you have not done so already, if you could please hit the like button on your way out the door. And listen, you can still make a donation, buy a ticket, book a cruise, honey. We got a lot going on over here at ReallyBTV. Okay? With that being said, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Talk to y'all later. I'm still laughing at you saying mullet, that mullet. The mullet is never the answer. I'll say it again tonight just for you, Kim. I will say it again tonight just for you, Kim. And happy birthday, boo!